What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 31 of our Cincinnati Bengals franchise. In today's episode, I actually have all of your guys' college players in the game, in the draft class. So we're going to take a look at those. But first, what I want to do is I want to kind of show you guys what we're looking at as far as how the future is going to look. So 2020, 2021, pending on if we don't sign any of the free agents that we need to negotiate with, right? So some of our players that we need to possibly re-sign, things like that, and really look at their contract status and really figure out, based on what we now know with this newly added in draft class, you know, because you guys weren't in there before, so obviously that changes the whole mix and the depth of certain positions, and really makes us think what is our strategy going forward in the draft, right? So good thing I didn't scout a whole lot of players, because then it would give all their stats away, right? All right, so take all the fun out. So let's take a look at some of the salaries here and just kind of get an idea of what we're looking at in the future. So we're loading this thing up here. Okay, so we got AJ Green for 1 year left. We got Russell, who's not asking for a whole lot of money. Vigil, he's going to be gone after this year, but you know, we're not losing a whole lot there. Thomas Rawls is just kind of a stopgap right now. I think I'm probably going to let him go once Mixon returns. Cody Core, wide receiver depth. Clint Bowling, left guard. We didn't really have any offensive line. No offensive linemen being requested into our draft class here, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get a CPU player in there. That's fine. Colby Listenby, another wide receiver depth. Tyler Boyd is going to be gone after next season. I'll probably want to re-sign him regardless. Matt Barkley, Casey Fegellum, Derek Johnson at 78. Just a stopgap type of player. Bell, Reader, stopgap type of player. Gio Bernard, that's a big one. So when we look at his salary cap hit and the bonus that we're paying him, you know, all that's going to be total under contract is $10.1 million, right? So at 27 years old, I think it would be time to just let him walk, right? Really give Joe Mixon the job. We might even draft a running back, possibly to get back behind Mark Walton, or maybe even take over that number 2 job ahead of Mark Walton. We'll just have to see on what is available in the draft. But if we can get a cheaper option, right, and a younger option, it just makes more sense for us, right? Because then you're going to have Joe Mixon that's going to become that veteran, and then you always need to start thinking about succession plans, right? You can't hang on to guys forever. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. Like maybe back in the 80s and the 70s, you could do stuff like that, right? You could hang on to guys for their entire careers, right? But it just doesn't work that way anymore with how negotiations work and how free agency has really played a role into that kind of thing. So we also see that William Jackson is also coming off the board with AJ Green. So we've got a lot of money potentially getting tied up here with a lot of players, and we're going to have to really think long and hard about what players we want to bring back here, because honestly, guys, we don't have a lot of money to spend. I mean, we can see the cap space. That's cap space that we have right now that's available, because we're also considering that we have these guys under contract, right? But when these guys come off the books, and then, you know, when we were able to re-sign them, even if they test free agency, that cap space is going to come back to us and become available, right? So it's not like this is a disaster scenario, like we're going to lose these guys, but it is something that we have to think about, because we don't have the funds currently in this season to, as signing bonuses, get some of these guys in here. And I'm going to show you guys that in just a moment. So we got to really think long and hard about what we're going to do as far as our top players that we want to bring back. And then we start seeing that we got some 2-year players coming off the books here. But look at Dalton taking up a lot of money. 19.9 for this year, 25.4 for next year. These are the salary cap hits, right? $98 million under contract. That's a lot. It's a lot of money for a quarterback that's, you know, is decent. Not great. It's decent. I made a video about Matthew Stafford. It's kind of the same thing with Andy Dalton. They're pretty good quarterbacks, but they need some help from their teammates even on the other side of the football, right? So we got a lot of money even left here with Cordy Glenn. He's 77 overall. Like, that's a lot of money for a 77 overall type of player. John Ross, not even asking for a whole bunch of money, but he probably will eventually. 77 overall right now. Once you start getting into that 80 range, I mean, we can see what we're paying for Cordy Glenn and, Sean Williams, even Giovanni Bernard, right? So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Joe Mixon's got 2 more years left. Like, yeah, this is gonna get pretty dicey, right? So we're definitely have to look long term. Definitely have to look long term and try to figure out some succession plans. So if you guys have any ideas after we go forward here, looking at the draft class, it'd be great. It'd be really, really cool. So now let's go ahead and actually look at some of the players that we're getting ready to negotiate. I've kind of touched on this very briefly in a couple episodes previously, but like I said, I wanted to build up that available funds in the upper right-hand corner there, $14.6 million, so that we knew what we had, how fast we were going to get it, right? So then we could make a decision on if we go after AJ Green, are we going to be able to later on in the season go after William Jackson, try to get him in here, right? Because obviously I'm not going to go after AJ Green, right? And then not be able to have that speed of available funds like coming in, and then you're like, oh crap, I've only got $2 million left. I wanted to know what the frequency was of like how fast that rate of return was. But it's looking like it's pretty good after every home game. It seems like we've got some money to work with here, but he's only asking for $14.1 million in the signing bonus, right? He's 31 years old. He's 31 years old. We don't have another receiver like AJ Green coming in the wings though either. And I'll show you guys the depth chart, but I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of it. Tyler Boyd, 75 overall, I think he is right now, and John Ross is 77. So we may need to think about possibly drafting a wide receiver this year, or in the free agents picking up a guy. I just, AJ Green at 31 years old, if you're going to pay that money, he's got to stay with that 90 overall, right? He's got to stay AJ Green, right? That's a lot of money to give up and tie into a guy where, like I said, we're going to need some other positions and we're going to need some depth elsewhere when, you can probably get some receivers for cheap, especially in this kind of this spread type of offense that we're trying to implement here with the Bengals. William Jackson, only 11.4. I think that William Jackson, in my opinion, is probably more worth signing right now and spending on the salary bonus than AJ Green. That's my opinion. At 25 years old, you don't find a lot of shutdown corners like William Jackson. He's a really great player for us, and he's only going to keep improving, right? So that's only $3 million in signing bonus less than AJ Green, and that can kind of open us up to, re-sign Tyler Boyd, right? So you can basically get 2 players for the price of AJ Green, and then you're not worrying about the available funds and how fast you're going to get them, and are we going to be able to get enough money here before the end of the year, so on and so forth. So obviously we're not even going to touch Gio Bernard. We're not going to bring him back. It's 27 years old with running backs. I hate to say it, but it's kind of diminishing returns at this point, right? We got Joe Mixon. He's been fine. He's been good for us. And then Giovanni Bernard, with asking for that much money, we can spend it elsewhere, especially if we're going to draft one. And then we got Mark Walton backing him up. It's all good, right? It's all good. Derek Johnson is a rental player. I'm not even going to consider bringing him back. Clint Bowling, unless we find something better than that, I'm going to hold off. Unless we can find something better than him, we might need to bring him back as well. Andrew Billings, depth guy, we can probably do a little bit better. Russell, depth guy, listen B, not even interested. He was mostly brought in to be a kick returner, punt returner, but now when we have Kendall Sheffield doing that, there's really no point to have Liston be on the roster. Nick Vigil, I'd like to bring Nick Vigil back. He provides some depth. I still want Malik Jefferson to take over that role at outside linebacker eventually. Cody Core might be a good player to bring back. He's not even asking for a whole lot of money, 70 overall, 25. He's definitely got the potential. I like where that's going. Matt Barkley, backup quarterback. You could bring him back, I guess, but I mean, we also do need to consider a quarterback as well, because honestly, with Andy Dalton, 2 more years left, he's going to be asking for a ton of money as well. Might as well draft one and start the new era. Start the new era of Bengals football under the Gold Glover 9 nation, right? So you guys are definitely a part of this whole process of what we're building here. So, is it time to let Andy Dalton go and seek other opportunities, or do we want to make him a career Cincinnati Bengal? He did win us a playoff game against the Oakland Raiders. He did win us a playoff game, but I'm going to kind of give that to the special teams unit, because they blocked that game-winning field goal for Oakland. So that I like that better. I like that narrative better than giving the credit all to Andy Dalton. So, and then we got Austin Reeder, who is just another depth guy. He's not bad. 64, 27 years old. It makes sense. So we got a lot of. It's kind of a weird re-signing. It's really top heavy. It's really top heavy, and then when there's not a lot of depth here in the back end, a lot of guys we're talking about that we're not bringing back, but it's very, very top heavy between Green, William Jackson, and Tyler Boyd. So that is the re-signing situation, which then brings us over to the actual draft class. And now, guys, I know that was kind of long and a little bit winded, but I just wanted to show you guys what we're doing and what we need to think about before we start scouting, because obviously you don't want to be wasting your scouting points, right? And now you guys get to see who is in the draft class. There you go. So there you go, guys. We have Damian Adams. So this actually, he wanted him to be Miami of Ohio, but there was Miami University and then there was Miami. So I'm assuming that Miami is Miami of Ohio, because then they didn't have any other option for Miami. Miami University would be the U. Jaquan Johnson, the U. I've also got Navon Kirby, was not a subscriber player. He was just another guy that I like him. A- throwing accuracy short, play action B+. Here's Tim Brady out of Michigan. So he was actually a strong arm type of quarterback. Doesn't he look kind of like Tom Brady? I tried to do that on purpose. But he is a mid-second round type of QB. And you know what's funny, guys, is that when you guys told me what round you wanted them to go in, I could show you their overall ratings right now, but I don't want to do that. I want to keep it kind of a mystery, right? But I know what their development trait is, kind of what their stats are. I mean, you guys told me the basic 3 stats, but I kind of made them and molded them into a type of player that makes sense for their skill set, right? But the rounds didn't change based on the overall rating. So if I went to go scout Reese Ingram or Tim Brady, Jason Hall, Adam Gonzalez, Winslow Davis, Colin Hudson, those are your guys, those are your quarterbacks. If I decided to go scout them, I don't know if that round, the gem, is going to change to Reese Ingram's a round 2 quarterback. We'll just have to find out, right? We'll just have to find out. But you guys have some storylines about these guys. Jason Hall was a Central Michigan quarterback, MAC championships. The storylines kind of get a little colluded, because there's players that were from Ohio, right? The Ohio Bobcats that won MAC championships, and then Central Michigan's winning MAC championships. So it kind of doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna lay off those. I'm gonna lay off the storylines, just kind of base it off of, not the team performance, but just kind of like the player performance. Jason Hall injured his arm, right? He broke his arm, but he's actually got the will. So a lot of teams like his grit and his fire. He was a very good quarterback for Central Michigan. You can see he's a field general, so he's definitely got that type of leadership, type of mentality. And we'll scout him up as well. I'm just going to actually run through these players, guys, and then we will actually get into some scouting. But Damian Adams is probably one of the most athletic players and quarterbacks in this draft. So you can see that, we got Tim Brady, Ingram, Hall, Gonzalez. Gonzalez is actually an interesting case too, but Damian Adams is probably the most athletic quarterback in this draft. And we can even see Kraus, I can't even say that, guys. Wade DeLuiso. God dang it. I can't even say that. Tyler Sturzilek. I don't know, guys. I have no idea. I'd have to look that last name up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that after this video. But we can see that Damian Adams, number 4 quarterback, definitely definitely one of the better players in the draft. We can see this, boom. He's a round 3. So he's actually dropped down to a round 3. Interesting. They see his talent. His projection is to go in the first, but he's a third round type of quarterback. And you know why? Because his statistics don't line up to being a great passer, a good passer, good enough for a first round type of selection. Let's look at Tim Brady real quick. And I don't want to just like go through all the quarterbacks first, because then we're not going to have enough points for running backs, right? But when we look at Tim Brady, throw power is an A+. Tom Brady, he was the little brother of Tom Brady, apparently. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there is a Tim Brady, but we'll just go with it. So throw power, an A rating, B- short throw. Accuracy in the mid is a B+. So he obviously is a good quarterback. He's probably a little bit better, which is scary, right? He's a little bit better than Tom Brady. Is he going to win championships? We don't know. But he's a little bit better in the draft. People like him in the draft in his scouting report better than they did Tom Brady. Interesting. Here's a Michigan State quarterback. So it's kind of interesting. We have a Michigan and a Michigan State quarterback, right? Reese Ingram. We can see that he's well on his way to fulfilling that projection as a third round quarterback. A power, B+, play action, B+, deep. So obviously this Michigan and Michigan State game, right, between Ingram and Brady is going to be a very, very good game, right? We don't know if it's going to be played at Michigan or Michigan State. I'm going to skip some of these other players here, but we also have Winslow, Davis, and Colin Hudson. Hudson apparently won the Heisman, but due to his frame and his athletic inability to showcase his athleticism, right? He's not going to impress you, right? He's a left-handed quarterback out of Florida, strong arm type of quarterback, 6'7". He's a big dude, right? So obviously he's not going to impress in the combine. We'll just have to see how he does. Let's go ahead and take a look at some running backs here. I will show you guys some of the players that you guys had me make. Here's Cami Martin, 4th round type of running back, along with Rudy James and Colton Fritch. These guys, elusive backs. They could really help us. They could really help us out. The reason I picked Southwest Oklahoma State, I don't remember, but there's a reason why I did that. I think that there's the college that you wanted isn't there, and then there's another situation where I couldn't find a certain college, so I had to pick Army for a player. We'll have to look at that in a little bit. But Cami Martin, kind of like the Rudy story is what they were saying. So he's not the most physically dominant presence at 5'6", 184, but he's so agile and so shifty that teams kind of like that. His agility, his speed, his ability to catch the football out of the backfield. He's kind of like a Tariq Cohen, kind of like that. So a lot of people are really dogging him, but there's some people in that crowd who kind of like him. Colton Fritch is being undervalued. That was the scouting report on Colton Fritch. When we look at him, they say he's going to be a 6th round type of player, but we'll have to see what he does in the combine because, guys, I think he's going to start impressing some people, and he might be one of the best players in the draft. And let's actually go ahead and scout Cami Martin here. So he is a 4th rounder. Rudy James actually goes up to the 6th, right? So he is a 7th round talent, but he's actually he's a 6th round talent, but he's apparently going in the 7th, right? So gotta like that. I don't think that there was another wide receiver or a running back, and there was not. So let's go ahead and look at fullback. I don't think that there was a fullback. There was not. So you look at wide receiver, Desmond Dallas. Desmond Dallas out of Ohio. One of the top Ohio products, the Ohio Bobcat products to come out as a wide receiver. Definitely worth a mid-round pick here at 2nd round. Short route, catching traffic, catching. He's a really good wide receiver. Might want to think about that. He's a big dude too, 6'4". So obviously want to see what his speed is. We want to see how fast he really is and see if he can actually hold up as a high round draft pick at 6'4", because a lot of those guys, they don't run too fast. They don't run too fast. We got Gavin Daniels out of Florida. Interesting player. Xavier Haney, interesting player as well. Deep threat for Xavier Haney. He was actually a Randy Moss fan growing up, so he models his game after Randy Moss at 6'4". You know, we got to see how fast he is. Like I said, these types of receivers, these big dudes, we got to see how fast they are and how quick and how agile. Can they make the cuts? We'll have to see here. And speed was not up there. Speed was not up there as one of the top 3. So B- deep route, catching, release, right? So he's going to get open. Xavier Haney's going to get open. He's going to find his holes in those defenses. So and we see Gavin Daniels as a catch. He's a catcher, right? He's a possession type of receiver. He's going to catch everything you throw at him, which is pretty good. I kind of like where that's going, right? Because, well, if you're not going to be super fast, you need to catch a lot of footballs. And there's not another wide receiver in this mix. Tight end. There was another player. There was 2 players, actually. John Bazio and Giovanni Coaxum. Giovanni Coaxum is a interesting player as well. And so is Bazio. Bazio is actually projected at a 2nd-round talent, but projected in the 3rd. Right? So, but we got Giovanni Coaxum. Both of these guys are physical freaks. John Bazio actually did some punting as well when he was at Ole Miss. Kind of funny for a tight end. Giovanni Coaxum is an athletic freak. He's gifted, guys. So if you want to think about like Eric Ebron, think about Eric Ebron, but got a little bit more potential. Can catch a lot. B+ catching. He's not going to get open a whole lot, right? The short route, C-, D medium route, but he's going to be a project. But just wait. When he gets going, that's the kind of guy that we need to be weary of. We might just want to take him as a project tight end, just because I think he's going to be that good. We're looking at left guards. There wasn't any left guards. Centers, right guards. We'll just skip offensive line. We didn't actually do anything in the offensive line. Here's a guy, Derek Westbrook, 4th round projection. He was projected at the 4th round only due to his discipline type of issues, kind of that emotional, fiery, passionate type of player. Derek Westbrook is a superstar in the making, but has a lot of penalties. I purposefully did that in his description, in his player development traits. You know, he's got to get his mind right? He's got all the talent in the world, but whoever takes him, maybe the New England Patriots, an organization like that can kind of bring him in and, calm him down a little bit, because this guy's a beast. And he played at USC. So here's a guy, Brady O'Born. This guy from the University of Miami, Ohio. He had some pretty good seasons, but scouts are actually surprised he's even entering the draft after his ankle injury, and where he actually started playing a little bit worse. So obviously he's got the fire, right? He's got the will inside of him. And again, that's what the pro scouts really like about him. That's why they're kind of giving him that 7th round projection. But we'll have to see what he's going to do as far as his combine goes and kind of what his traits are. We've only got 22 scouting points available right now. But these 2 guys I definitely want to look at as possible late round additions. Right end, no, they would have been up here. We didn't do any right ends. Defensive tackles, I think we would have been up here. Well, John Austin, nice little player out of Toledo. He's 5'9", right? So he's probably not going to have too good of a combine compared to other defensive tackles. He might be a type of player that you put into a 3-4. He might be like a 4th linebacker on the outside, just because he has shown that he can pass rush and he can bull rush a little bit on the line, right? But at Toledo, they're not made of a whole lot of football talent, right? Down at the University of Toledo, the Rockets. So you got to consider that, right? A little undersized, but you could probably use him in certain situations. Probably a nice little addition there. Let's see, outside linebacker. Did we do anything here? Yes, we did. Chad Delando out of Cincinnati, speed rusher. So this guy's going to be pretty good. I actually like Chad DeLondo. I hope that when we scout him up, that his projections match with what you guys had put down in your comments. So when we look at middle linebacker, we got Cole Sharp and Deshaun White. Deshaun White was out of James Madison. He is related to Devin White out of LSU, who was actually just drafted. We gotta remember where he went. I have to look that up. But Deshaun White, definitely a physical freak, just like Devin White. So, but out of James Madison and that small school kind of stigma that he's got going on, people are really dogging him a little bit. But you know, sometimes you want those guys. They got something to prove, right? Cole Sharp out of LSU. Interesting little connection here. Cole Sharp, he must have played with Devin White, so he knows Deshaun White, possibly. He knows Devin White very well, right? So interesting that he might be able to kind of guide Deshaun White through this whole process, right? Because his brother or his relative is Devin White, and these guys are friends. Cole Sharp and Devin White are really good friends. They were in the middle linebacking core, right? They were in the linebacking core at that solid LSU defense. I don't think we did anything other here at middle linebacker. Didn't do anything here at right outside. Corner. Didn't have any corners. Actually, that was interesting. Yeah, we did not have any cornerbacks. Thought we might have had some, but we did not. Free safety. I feel like we had a free safety here somewhere. We did not. We had a strong safety. We had a couple strong safeties. That's right. So we had Trey Weddle. This is actually the brother. What? The brother. I said brother. This is the brother. This is the brother of Eric Weddle for the Baltimore Ravens. Played with San Diego Chargers. If you guys are not aware of him, you should be, because he's one of the best tackling safeties in all of the NFL. Trey Weddle, definitely having that type of guidance, that type of role model, I guess you'd look up to, right? He's going to be a player. Trey Weddle, mark my words, will be a good player here in the NFL. It's just a matter of time before he takes that next step, because he is a fourth rounder. You just got to work with him a little bit, and eventually he will develop into a superstar. Yukimura Sanada, interesting player out here out of Florida State. 5th round projection. A lot better than what people are giving him credit for. He's, again, kind of like Trey Weddle. Gonna have to work for it a little bit. Doesn't really have the whole, like, he's got the raw skill. He's an athlete, right? But there's some certain things that, as far as playing the game of football, because he didn't pick it up until high school, you know, the strategy, he's got to start understanding a little bit better, right? He's definitely got the IQ for it. That was one of his top traits. Definitely has the smarts, the football smarts, but at the NFL level, it's a whole different animal, right? And he's going to need to rely on that in order to kind of make up for some physical deficiencies at the strong safety position. The agility, the backpedaling, the positioning, the play recognition, those type of things. So definitely a type of player that's got to be working a little bit harder than most, but I kind of like where he would be heading. So last but not least, let's take a look at the kickers. We've got Adam Waldeck. They're saying all these kickers are going to be undrafted, but out of Notre Dame, definitely was a very solid kicker for them. So just watch out for Mr. Adam Waldeck. He might be a player as well to watch out for. We might even draft Adam Waldeck, honestly. Might even sign him. Just sign him late, because Randy Bullock apparently just isn't cutting it at all. So that, guys, is your scouting type of little mini report. If I got any of your skins wrong, like just for example here, if there are some, because most of you guys were pretty clear on what you wanted your player, like Damian Adams. You know, if he's not dark, he should be white. You know, please let me know. Reese Ingram, if he's not white, he's supposed to be dark. Please let me know. That'd be great. But a lot of you guys, you know, like Adam Gonzalez, you guys were very specific about that. But I just want to make sure it's accurate, right? And don't feel awkward to let me know, like, hey, you got my guy wrong. So just let me know. And if you don't like that face, I can change the face as well. If you got any type of suggestions and some feedback on that, you guys have already all seen your players, so you should have a good idea on what needs to change. So that is it for the scouting report, guys. So let's go ahead and simulate into week number 9, and then we'll get some gameplay against the Buffalo Bills. And then on Sunday, I'm actually going to have a double upload. We'll have the 8:30 p.m. game against the Los Angeles Chargers, and then the San Francisco 49ers on the road. I'll have both of those games for you guys on Sunday. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. All right, guys, time for gameplay here. We got the Buffalo Bills. We're headed on the road, though, to go take these guys on. They got 1 win and 5 losses. We're the exact opposite. So we're 6-1 right now. They're 1-5. I think they got a tie thrown in there too. I think they're 1-5-1. So this is yet again a very bad football team yet again for the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is the starting quarterback. They do have another weapon in Golden Tate, obviously. You guys saw him there, and we saw him at the very end of the offseason last year go ahead and sign with Buffalo. They just wanted to pay him a ton of money. Well, more power to you, but we're going to have to shut him down. It's really the only offensive weapon that they have, in my opinion. They've got LaShawn McCoy, but in this game, you guys will notice that he's not going to really be doing anything. So, not to give too much away here, but you guys kind of already, the writing's really on the wall here. 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for Josh Allen. He's not having a good season against our 7-1 football team. I think you guys know where this is kind of heading, right? We see here on the very first play of the game, that's Charles Clay making a catch, but Vigil is going to stop him for a no gain here to open up the first quarter and open up this football game. Play action here to McCoy, and then firing deep to Golden Tate. Interesting. Maybe I'm leading you guys on. Maybe I'm leading you on. Maybe we actually lost this football game. Ooh, I don't know. So 1 reception for 15 yards for Mr. Tate. Josh Allen, yet again, inaccuracy has always been his issue. You guys can see it there. That was 1st and 10. 2nd and 10 now, and Vigil coming in on the sack. He's going to drop Josh Allen for a big-time loss. It's going to be a 9-yard loss right there. 3rd and 19, and we're bringing the pressure here, guys. All of our linebackers were blitzing, trying to throw it to the outside. Nothing doing. So we're going to actually give it back to Andy Dalton. And he's actually not having a bit too bad of a year. 1,836 yards. That's not a lot of passing yards at this stage in the season. He actually ranks near the bottom tier in the NFL right now as far as passing yards go. It's because we're sprinkling it in. We're sprinkling in Mixon. We're sprinkling in Giovanni Bernard. We're trying to get that run game going, trying to get some XP for our young offensive linemen, namely Billy Price and Bo Benshaw, for sure. We see that Bernard going to get 6 yards on that first carry. Not going to do too much here on this next carry, so it's going to actually be 3rd and 2 right now. Passing play called, and we had the B route. That's Tyler Boyd. But Andy Dalton cannot get the football out quick enough, and it's going to cost him. He gets hurt on this play, so he's got a lower back strain, and he's not going to be able to return to the game, which obviously means that Matt Barkley is going to have to make yet again another appearance for us on the road. Remember, guys, last season in the opening game against the Indianapolis Colts, he actually played pretty well for us when he made his debut on the season. So he's actually going to make his debut in this year, yet again, on the road. We'll have to see how he does against this Bills defense, for sure. So on a 3rd and 11 after another sack on Josh Allen, that was Carlos Dunlap, I believe, we got William Jackson intercepting Josh Allen on this play. Kelvin Benjamin didn't even try to go up for the football, guys. Kelvin Benjamin's a weird type of receiver. He had all the tools to be a really good receiver in the NFL. He had 1 good season with Cam Newton, and then after that, he just kind of fell off the face of the earth here. So now we get to take a look at Matt Barkley and see how he's going to perform. He gets a pass to the outside to Tyler Kroft, trying to throw out there to John Ross, and that was way overthrown. Put a little too much mustard on it, but this throw was a little dicey, a little risky there. Micah Hyde is going to hit Tyler Boyd there pretty hard, but Tyler Boyd helps his quarterback out, makes that catch, picks up the first down. Here's Tyler Boyd yet again, seeming to be his favorite target here on go-to downs. So that's a 3rd down and 4, and Tyler Boyd comes up with the first down yet again. So on 1st and 10, we got a little motioning here. That's John Ross. We're going to try to get him to the outside. I love this play with John Ross. It's perfect for his speed. If we've got numbers on the outside, it just makes a lot of sense to use him there. Here's Giovanni Bernard on a 3rd and 1. Good to get him going because he's already got 5 rushes for 13 yards. So it's not a very effective day on the ground thus far for him, which the past 2 weeks have been. So the Bills' defense is proving difficult for the Bengals' offense right now. Something we got to definitely try to figure out here. But look at this. A little doink off the lineman's helmet, and Vigil's going to come up with the deflection for an interception. So yet again, Josh Allen having some tough luck at quarterback. Not going to be able to shake this. If we can get this touchdown, that's going to be huge for us in our chances here in this football game. But look at this throw. It was right at the defensive lineman, so Barkley's got to be a little bit better here. And look at this throw. Awesome timing, perfect precision, perfect route by A.J. Green to get open right there. 1st down. It's going to be 1st and goal now at the 8-yard line. Getting a pass up the middle here to Uzomah, and he's not going to extend the ball past the goal line. He's only going to get to the 1-yard line, and we're going to call it a hurry up because you know what? We had all these receivers, right? It's a perfect situation, right? They weren't in a very run-stopping formation here, so why not? 1-yard line. They were covering all those receivers that we had out front, and we're just going to give it to Giovanni Bernard. It's a plus play for us, and we knew that if we tried that hurry up, they weren't going to be able to get the personnel out on the field in time. So touchdown Giovanni Bernard. He's been killing it, guys, these last 3 weeks. So we're up 7-0 here, and Golden Tate and Josh Allen, this little connection here, really helping him out. That's a deep bomb. Darqueze Dennard with the coverage. And look at this. Kendall Sheffield almost blocks this kick. Almost blocks this kick. That would have been 2 block kicks in 3 weeks for Kendall Sheffield. So obviously he's starting to get a little more comfortable playing at the NFL level here. And then now, after that 3 points was up and good, we get the football back. A.J. Green fumbles on a slant route that he was wide open on. It was a great read by Matt Barkley to get that out and get that 1st down, but A.J. Green not going to come through for us. But our defense does. Buffalo's going to get a field goal, so it's going to be 7-6. Giovanni Bernard picking up about 9 or 8. That's 8 yards, so it's 2nd and 2. 55 seconds, and the time is ticking away here. We got all 3 timeouts. We're just trying to get into field goal position. If a touchdown happens, cool, but we're not trying to force the ball downfield, right? We don't want an interception here. Don't want a turnover. We need points on the board here because obviously when you got your backup quarterback going, anything can happen, guys. We don't want to lose this football game against the team that we should win, right? So Barkley not doing too bad here. 30 seconds left, finding John Ross, finding some open receivers. Tyler Kroft at a 1st down on this drive so far. 1st and 10, 30 seconds. We're going a little play action pass here, and we saw the pressure, so we had to get rid of the ball quickly. No time to force the ball downfield. We find Uzomah for the 1st down. He actually had to make a play, a really good play, an athletic play to break some tackles to get that 1st down. It's going to be 1st and 10 with 24 seconds left as he did get out of bounds to stop the clock. Here's a pass up the middle to A.J. Green on the slant route. Going to call timeout with 18 seconds left. Gotta love it. Got 4 receivers wide. Giovanni Bernard at that triangle route. And look at Bernard is wide open, but we're throwing to X. We thought that A.J. Green was going to come back on that dig route, and he just did not. We didn't even see it. And then when we were trying to shoot for Tyler Kroft, it's bad. It's bad. Bad interception, guys. Can't have it. I'm going to take the blame. You guys know that I always take the blame because I'm obviously the one behind the controller. But damn it, Barkley. Make a play. God, don't make those throws. We had a field goal up and good, guys. It would have been 10-6 heading into the half. You know, when we got the football here, that would have been a great situation for us to extend our lead. But look at Barkley again. He's going to throw another interception, and the only guy to catch Micah Hyde is Bo Benshaw. So he does. It's going to avoid the touchdown in the lead for Buffalo. So it's still 7-6 here. Buffalo with the football. We're bringing some pressure on Allen. He's escaping. He's rolling out to the right. And look at this. Dre Kirkpatrick can't even locate the football. Can't locate the football. And it's going to be a touchdown to Charles Clay. Unreal. So 13 to 7 or 12 to 7. They're going to try for a 2-point conversion. They get it. That's Golden Tate beating Jesse Bates on the coverage. So they're now up by a touchdown. They're up by 7, guys, here in the mid part of the third quarter. So Barkley's going to have to step it up here. We need more production. We need better production out of this guy if we want to stay with 1 loss on the year. We're 6-1. We're trying to shoot for 7-1. And look at this. They brought the blitz, and look at John Ross making 2 people miss. Touchdown, Cincinnati Bengals. 5th receiving touchdown on the season for Mr. John Ross, the speedster, the jet. The jet John Ross. He's going to be 14 to 14 now. Mid part of the third quarter with 6 minutes left. Let's take a look at the replay here. Look at this play. Whoop! Made 2 Bills run into each other, guys. So great play by John Ross. He's absolutely balling out as our number 2 receiver this season. I love what I'm seeing out of John Ross. Josh Allen throwing yet again an incomplete pass, inaccurate pass. We get lucky right there. Still 14-14. And Bernard is wide open on the wheel route. He's going to get a huge, huge gain. And we're going to be up past the 50-yard line. We're up past the 20-yard line right now. We're at the 17. And with 5 seconds left on the play clock, got to get this play off. We do on 3rd and 6. And John Ross is going to pick up the first down with 1:45 left to go. Time is ticking away. We're just trying to get another touchdown, guys. You don't settle for field goals right here. You need a score. But look at this, shooting for A.J. Green on the comeback route, on the hitch route, and we get a pass interference call on the defense. So we're actually going to get set up at the 1-yard line. That's Ladarius White getting the penalty call here. Now look at this play. Look at this play. 1st and goal, and we're deciding to throw it to A.J. Green, hoping that he can get open. I'd love throwing to A.J. Green down here in the end zone. Not gonna get it. Nothing doing. Good coverage out there by the corner. And look at this. Could not bounce it enough to the outside there. That was actually a good block by Hewitt. Just couldn't get it though. Couldn't get it more to the outside. So we're on 3rd and goal now at the 3. And A.J. Green is absolutely untouched, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. We got 21 to 14. So Barkley, after that kind of that rough first couple series, he's starting to figure it out a little bit, starting to get a little more comfortable. We're calling plays that he likes, really utilize his skill set, don't try to do too much. And look at Sean Williams on the hit stick. On Chester Rogers, and the fumble is going to actually get picked up by Cincinnati. So Sean Williams forces this fumble on Rogers, and then boom, Vigil picks it up. Guys, we're now in the driver's seat. Here's Giovanni Bernard trying to make too much happen, though. Just when you thought that we were, like I said, in the driver's seat, we get another turnover. So Barkley with 2 interceptions, A.J. Green with a fumble, Giovanni Bernard with a fumble. It's just not looking good for this Bengals offense right now, guys. So the defense has got to step it up. We know that this Buffalo Bills team has been playing us hard all game long, right? But Perfect comes through in a big way. Buffalo's going to have to give us the football back here. Here's Mark Walton Jr. on a carry, trying to get that power back going, trying to get that power thing and grind it out type of mentality. Can't get 3 yards to get the first down. We see that Buffalo's here with the football with 7 minutes left, getting 6 yards on 1st and 10. It's going to be 2nd and 4. And look at who's quarterback right now. Nathan Peterman is quarterback. That's because Josh Allen got hurt on the sack by Vontaze Burfict, right? So maybe he's good for something, guys. He hurts people. Not that I condone hurting people, but we can see that Peterman is not even trying anything downfield. 2 for 2 for 10 yards. Not going to get the first down when they absolutely needed it. Trying to get the power back going here again with Mark Walton. Going to pick up the first down. It's going to be 2:12 minutes left to go. Gotta like it. Gotta love it. We're up past the 2-minute warning. And with Buffalo with 1 timeout on 3rd and 6, we're going to give it to Gio. And look at that spin move. Beautiful, beautiful spin move, guys. He's going to pick up the first down. And without any timeouts, Buffalo is not going to be able to stop the clock. Guys, your Bengals are winners yet again. Despite all of the odds and the turnovers that we had in today's game, we came through in a big way on the road. Backup quarterback Matt Barkley actually started playing a little bit better near the end, which is a good sign for him. He didn't get into a shell. He didn't quit which is a very good thing. A lot of confidence is oozing out of him and this Bengals team. Very obvious right now. So we move on to 7-1, guys. So let's just take a look at the stats. 2 touchdowns for Barkley, 2 interceptions. Actually had a pretty good game as far as the stats go. Like I said, picked it up near the end. Bernard got over a good amount of yards there on 22 carries, but it took him a while to try to break through, right? AJ Green had a pretty solid game. John Ross had a really good game yet again, 77 yards. Bernard had a couple catches, but we got that offensive line, and protecting Dalton today with this defensive line for Buffalo was proving difficult for sure. And Barkley, I should say. Actually, you know what? The protection got better with Barkley under center for whatever reason. So I don't know what that was all about. Maybe Barkley just knows he doesn't want to throw deep, right? Just got to dink and dunk it all day. Andy Dalton, well, likes to throw it deep, right? More short and intermediate and medium passes, I know, but he's got more capability to throw deep. But you guys can see the stats there. I will see you guys on Sunday. We'll do a little bit more scouting, and we'll have the double games. We'll have the double upload going. So I'll see you guys then. As always, peace.